is often described as a nation of immigrants. The people who immigrated to America over the past 4 centuries came for many reasons, surely all of them unique. Many came to escape from poverty, hard times, from rigid social orders, from regimes that oppressed their religions and persecuted them for their ethnic backgrounds. Some even came here against their will, brought here in chains to be sold as slaves. Others came for adventure, curiosity, or to fulfill dreams of fame and riches. But they came nevertheless. Their hard work and sacrifices, as well as the richness of their diverse backgrounds, have made America the nation it is today. Although many of those who came before you had little more than the clothes on their backs when they first set foot on this land, they did not come empty-handed. They brought with them the spirit of people yearning to be free, to follow their dreams, and to pursue their destiny. These immigrants also brought with them their history and culture, their arts and their religions, and by bringing these wonderfully diverse gifts, they helped create the beautiful mosaic that we call America. On July 4th, 1776, Thomas Jefferson wrote in the Declaration of Independence, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." In closing, he said, "And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, our sacred honor." And with those words, a new nation was born, a nation of immigrants. 11 years later, on September 17, 1787, the foundation of our nation, our Constitution, was born. And it begins with these words in its preamble. "We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America." Just 74 years later, our new nation was then in the midst of a bloody civil war, testing whether this new nation would remain. Abraham Lincoln, during that war, delivered these words at the dedication of a battlefield cemetery in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. "47 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of a war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that this nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men living and dead who struggle here have consecrated it far above our pure power to add or to detract. The world will little know nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to the cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, and that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. When Lincoln wrote and delivered those words, he was advocating for what has been called the American experiment. Lincoln wanted, above all else, to preserve the Union, to maintain a new nation. Most nations share a common language, or race, or ethnicity, perhaps the same religion, customs, and tradition. But America is different. The American nation is diverse, with numerous peoples, races, ethnicities, religions, customs, and traditions. Indeed, our strength as a nation is our diversity, and we have expressed that in our national motto, E pluribus unum, which means which means out of many, one. Ronald Reagan expressed it this way. He said, you can move to China, but you can't become Chinese. You can move to Japan, but you cannot become Japanese. You can move to Italy, but you cannot become Italian. Only in America can anyone, no matter where they were born, become an American. And today, class, no matter where you were born, no matter your race, ethnicity, religion, no matter your customs, traditions, or language, today you too will become an American. And as a new American, you will now inherit the legacies of our patriotic forefathers. You now will be responsible to form a more perfect union of these United States, to establish justice and ensure domestic tranquility, and to promote the general welfare and secure the blessings of liberty, so that, as Lincoln said, government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth. Congratulations on this very special day, and welcome to that great and diverse nation we call America. I'm now going to recognize Ms. Peggy Guernsey, Chief Deputy Clerk of the United States District Court from the Early District of Indiana. I'm going to ask her now to please administer the general oath of citizenship.
We ask you all to please rise. Raise your right hand. State your name. I, that each of you will declare upon your own oath that you absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereign, or to whom or of which you appear to be or been a subject or a citizen, and that you will support and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that you will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by the law, that you will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by the law, that you will perform work of national importance under civil direction when required by the law, and that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help you God. Please respond by saying I do.
Class, please remain standing. At this time, I'd like now to introduce Ms. Bonnie Stickley, the daughter of the American Revolution, Shiloh Colfax chapter. And I'm going to ask her to lead the class and all of us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So please let us all now stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to